ययदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं धा त्र्युचितां ततोऽन्यम् कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम। नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्गुंहदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Blessed divine souls, let us chant his glorious names for a few minutes, and thereafter we will discuss the subject on hand. राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
हो राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
ओ राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद गोविंद राधे Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Oh Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Oh Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Oh Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Oh Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Oh Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Oh Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe.
बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की. So I will continue to expand on the philosophy, the science behind Sadhana Bhakti, the practice of devotion. Yesterday, I concluded the lecture with a quotation from Ashtapadi by Gaurang Mahaprabhu. So I just want to recite that once again. Gaurang Mahaprabhu has said, Nayanam galadashrudharaya Vadanam gad ruddhaya gira Pulakair nichitam vapuh kada Tavanamagrahane bhavishyati. He says that the sign of love for God is Nayanam galadashrudharaya, a stream of tears flowing from the eyes and a voice choked with loving emotion. There should be so much love in our heart that words should not be able to come out of our mouth. Furthermore, we should experience goosebumps all over the body when we chant. To attain this kind of love, however, we have to practice devotion. We have tried all other means, except for shedding tears for Shri Krishna. We have listened to many lectures. We have recited the Gita, the Ramayana countless times. We have bowed our heads at countless holy places. And yet, how much love have we developed through these means? How detached have we become from the world? The questions remain. Detachment means being absolutely neutral towards the world in all circumstances. In other words, being the same in material gain as well as loss. If this is true about you, then you are detached from the world. So we can judge for ourselves. Have all these other methods like reciting the scriptures, etc., led you to this type of detachment? If no, then whatever we are doing must be wrong, must be lacking something. This is why the saints and scriptures have said repeatedly, you must shed tears. You cannot attain divinity without shedding tears for him. Even Lord Ram tells us in the Ramayana, Mama guna gavat pulak sarira gad gad gira nayan bahanira. He says, you must chant my name with tears of love in your eyes. Otherwise, God will not bless us with his unlimited divine grace. Another very important component in Sadhana Bhakti is called ananyata, meaning exclusiveness, being exclusive in your devotional practice, in your devotional path, towards your guru, your spiritual master, and also the deity of worship. In our case, it is Shri Radha and Krishna. Ananyata. In other words, that is to say, that you must dig for a well at only one place. And this is what some of us fail to do. Let us say that there's a man who wants to dig a well. He starts thinking, but how will I know once I have located a well? Well, you will find water. He starts to dig, and he digs only 4 or 5 feet, and not seeing water, he starts to complain, oh, there's no water. Why is there no water? He starts digging somewhere else. After a while, he gives up again, seeing no water. he starts digging elsewhere. In this way, he tries various places and digs only 4 or 5 feet every time and gives up. Although, altogether, he must have dug at least 1,000 feet, but still, he did not find water. Why? Because he did not stick to one place. Similarly, we must stick to only one practice, one path, one guru, one deity of worship, one that is recommended by all saints and scriptures, and then you will experience the benefit. I'm not saying that you will experience it after death. You will experience the benefit after death. No, in other words, you will experience it right here in this lifetime while you are alive. Where a person goes after death is determined by what he has done while he was alive. So if we do not attain God realization in this lifetime before death, then we will have to return to this material world again and again, rotating in the cycle of birth and death, suffering in the various species of life, until we do. So if we practice devotion to Shri Krishna in the way it is being explained to you since yesterday, with the grace of Shri Maharaj, then we will notice great advancement in our spiritual life, and very rapidly. In other words, if we wish to attain the grace of God and His saints, we will have to practice this type of devotion. And if we do not wish to attain their grace, then there's no need to practice it. But the saints say that you will have to shed tears in order to attain their grace. Now, some people complain they cannot cry for God. They find it difficult to shed tears. The only reason for this is pride. Pride prevents us from crying for God. On the other hand, if someone comes up to us and shows us the revolver, we immediately become humble in front of him. We start begging him to spare our life. We are so attached to our body. We are even willing to fall at this person's feet, and yet we are ashamed to become humble in front of God, who is the creator, who is the master of countless universes. The saints say we are such great fools. We fail to humble ourselves, we fail to accept our helpless situation in front of God, and yet the desire for wealth makes us become humble in front of a wealthy person. Or if a man has a desire for a woman, he becomes humble in front of her. And yet we are ashamed to become humble, to accept our humble state in front of God, in front of Shri Krishna, who is the master of countless universes. Why? Because we don't realize his importance. Or we do not accept ourselves to be the soul. We think of ourselves as the body alone. We identify ourselves completely with the body. We do not recognize our true identity. We forget that our ultimate selfish motive of attaining everlasting happiness can be fulfilled only through Shri Krishna. If we accept this eternal truth, then humility will come automatically. So it is pride alone that prevents us from crying for God. And we will have to work at getting rid of this pride. When tears do not come, we should rebuke ourselves in the following way. We should think, what quality or talent do I possess that makes me so proud? I do not possess the beauty of Kamdev, the god of beauty. I do not possess the wealth of Kuber, who is the god of wealth. I do not possess the intelligence of Saraswati and Brihaspati. I cannot match Indra, the king of God, the king of heaven, in grandeur, in majesty. Nor can I compete with Surya, the sun god, in glory. Then what justification is there for this pride of mine? Why can I not accept my humble state in front of him? I think myself to be someone great even in front of him. Otherwise, tears would flow from my eyes in a continuous stream. We should scold ourselves in this manner in the practice of devotion. Another obstacle in humility is looking at the faults of others. Some of us, we think it is our duty to criticize and condemn others or to look at their faults. And the saints and the scriptures tell us that looking at the faults of others is the greatest fault. This is the very fault that prevents us from progressing towards God. They say that if you wish to look at faults, look at your own. Feel badly about them and try to correct them. Humility will come once we start thinking in this manner. Then tears will come because pride will then depart from the scene. But what's our present condition? At present, we think ourselves as the best and we think of others to be worse than us. This is our nature, but we will have to change. We will have to make an effort to change this nature. We must accept ourselves to be the greatest sinners. We must think of others to be better than us from the bottom of our heart. Even if you see someone in the wrong, think that maybe he's just acting in such a way and yet has tremendous love for him, for God in his heart. Be neutral. The scriptures say, become neutral. Do not look at that person's fault. Think him to be better than yourself. You may say, how can I think that? I have not committed any great sin, whereas I can see this other person doing such wrong things. Well then, it seems that we are unaware of the eternal truth, the facts, the real facts of life, as stated in the Vedas. You should know that there's no sin that you have not committed. Do not judge or calculate your sins looking at only one lifetime. We have lived countless lives, and during these lives we have committed countless sins. To give you an example, in the battle of Mahabharata, after all the Kauravas had been killed, Kauravas were the sons of King Dhritarashtra. They belonged to the Kuru dynasty, so they were called Kauravas. So after all the Kauravas had been killed, King Dhritarashtra, their father, was devastated. He was heartbroken. He went to Shri Krishna. He said, "My Lord, what sin have I committed as a result of which I'm being punished in this way? All of my 100 young sons have been killed in the battle. I am still alive. I'm such an old man, and I have been left behind to cry over their deaths." Shri Krishna replied, "Do you mean to say that you have not committed any sin in this lifetime?" Dhritarashtra was very pious. He said, "No, I have not." Lord Krishna said, "How about the previous life?" He said, I remember fully well that I did not commit any sin then either. How about the life before that? The same, said Dhritarashtra. He was so pious, he remembered his previous 3 births. Lord Krishna said, how about the life before that? He said, that one I do not remember. Lord Krishna said, out of countless lives, you remember only 3. What are merely 3 lives when speaking of countless? It is not even a drop of water in the ocean. You have committed every sin possible in the course of your countless past lives. In fact, we all have. And they are called sanchit pap, accumulated sins. And they are forgiven only at the time of God realization. Furthermore, we should know the definition of sin according to the Vedas. Mannimittam kritam karma madharmaya cha kalpate mamanadritya dharmopi papan syan mat prabhavatah. Vedas. According, in the words of Veda Vyas, Shri Krishna says that an individual is free of sin only for the time that he's thinking of God. The rest of the time he's doing nothing but committing sins. Please listen carefully. Lord Krishna goes on to say, he says, on the other hand, if someone even commits a sin but has me, but with the view of pleasing me or serving me, then even his sin will be considered a virtuous action. He gave the example. He said, Arjun committed so many murders in the battle of Mahabharata while following my instructions. On the other hand, he said, if someone even performs a virtuous action but does not have me as the central focus of his life, then in fact all his virtuous actions are sins. This is the definition of virtue and sin. In other words, if we take Shri Krishna out of our mind at any point in time, at any given time, then we are committing a sin. So, judging from this definition, think about the time that we were free of sin. Most of the time we are committing sins. There are very few rare moments that we spend that are free of sin. Then how can we think that we are not sinners? And furthermore, since we are not omniscient, all-knowing, we cannot judge anyone. We cannot judge anyone's condition. We must only judge ourselves. We must only think of ourselves as the greatest sinners. This is what the saints and scriptures say. And these kind of feelings these kind of thoughts should create humility. So these are some of the do's, and some of the don'ts are, so do not look at, the saints and scriptures say, do not look at the faults of others. Do not listen to others being criticized. They say that if someone is speaking negatively of someone else, then move away from there immediately. Vishnu Rahasya states, the scriptures reveal, Varam hut bahajwala panjarantarvyavasthiti na shauri chinta vimukho jana samvasa vaishasam. Vishnu Rahasya. According to the scriptures, if you have, on the one hand, a person who speaks ill of others, of the scriptures, of the God-realized souls, and so on, and on the other hand you have a cage on fire, you should choose the latter. The scriptures say it is better to burn in that raging fire than to associate with an individual who finds faults with divine personalities. If you associate with such a person, it is said that your spiritual downfall is certain, is guaranteed. And furthermore, it is said that even 1,000 years of chanting God's name does not have as great an effect as 2 minutes of listening to an individual speaking ill of divine souls. So because of this bad habit, looking at the faults of others, we stoop so far down as to listen to someone talking ill of God-realized souls. The scriptures say that some of us, many of us, we enjoy listening to the faults of others. But the obstacle, the problem in that is that if we are looking at the faults of worldly people today, tomorrow we will find faults with saintly souls as well. So the Ramayana says, Sunu Suresh Raghunath Subhau Nij aparadh risahi na kau Jo aparadh bhagat kar karai Ram rosh pavak so jarai. He who listens to someone insulting saintly souls cannot be saved from the wrath of the Lord, from God's anger. It is such a severe offense, nama aparad. So we must, so some of the do's, and some of the do's are that always look at your own faults and never at the faults of others. For an aspirant, it is said that he must practice, he must also do Atmanarikshan, which you all have been practicing conscientiously with Nikhilanand Bhaiya and all of us in the evening. So an aspirant must do Atmanarikshan, which means self-analysis, self-examination, self-observation, introspection. For instance, even at home, before going to sleep at night, spend 5 minutes looking at your own faults. Today, I made this mistake. Today, I looked at the faults of others. I made this mistake today, but tomorrow I will not repeat the same mistake. Take a vow to improve yourself. Always examine yourself. And if we do, we will continue to progress, to continue to move forward on our path of spirituality. You see, we must always realize ourselves to be fallen and humble in front of God. And yet, the scriptures also say that we should not become disappointed because we are so fallen. We should also be aware of the fact of the Tattva Gyan, the knowledge that Shri Krishna, our beloved Lord, loves the fallen souls. This is how he attained the title of Patit Pavan. Patit means fallen, sinner, and Pavan means one who accepts the fallen, one who loves the fallen souls. So when we loudly chant His glorious names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, thinking in this manner, our love for Shri Krishna will increase as well. Another point to keep in mind in the practice of karma sannyas sadhana is that there should not be any selfish desires in our heart. Most people run to God for help. when faced with worldly sorrows. They start crying in front of God. So these selfish tears, instead of purifying the heart, make it even more impure. Our tears should be selfless. The only tears that will help purify the heart are the ones that we shed due to an intense desire to hear the divine sound of Shri Krishna, to see him, etc. In this way, we must practice karma sanyas sadhana. Through the practice of karma sanyas, you will shed more and more tears. And tears, as I mentioned yesterday, are the very first milestone in the spiritual realm. After this initial milestone, as you progress in your devotion, you will experience others, such as goosebumps, a choked voice, and so on. But the very first milestone is the presence of tears. Now, there are two kinds of tears, two types of tears: tears of union and tears of separation. Tears of union are cold, and tears of separation are hot. For example, when you are meditating, united with Shri Krishna, you feel that you can see him, hear him, and attain his love. These type of feelings will bring about cold tears. On the other hand, when will I see Shri Krishna? I can no longer live without him. These feelings of separation will give rise, these will create the feelings of separation, and this feeling of being separated from our divine beloved will give rise to hot tears. Now, tears of separation are superior to those of union. Why? There's more of an intensity in the feeling of separation. And this intensity, it is this intensity that purifies the heart quicker. So, special attention is given to the tears of separation. Of course, when you get bored with meditating on Shri Krishna, being separated from you, then start meditating on him being with you. Think that he's embracing you and that you're with him, and so on. And what are some of the difficulties? Some of the obstacles? In this practice of karma sannyas sadhana, you will most likely come across a difficulty. When you begin to concentrate your mind on God, the world or worldly people will enter your mind. You are trying to focus on Shri Krishna's eyes, and suddenly you start thinking about your wife's eyes. She has beautiful eyes. You are trying to focus on Shri Krishna's face, and suddenly you start thinking of your son's face. In other words, the world, worldly people whom we love so much, whom we are so attached to, because we think they are the source of our happiness, will enter the mind. But do not worry when this happens. The saints say, do not become discouraged. These problems will arise. In other words, the world will enter your mind as soon as you start thinking about God. Remember that we are only practicing thinking of God. We have not yet attained perfection. Practice means to work at correcting mistakes and solving problems. We will face problems again and again, and we will have to work at solving these problems again, time and time again. And that is why it is called practice, sadhana. How can we expect to attain perfection without practicing first? So first we have to practice getting the mind attached to God. And therefore, we should not be discouraged when the mind goes towards the world. When it goes towards the world, have Shri Krishna follow it wherever it goes. And we must do this again and again. You start thinking about your wife's eyes, then have Shri Krishna follow your mind. Have Shri Krishna stand in the pupil of her eye. If we do this again and again, our mind will become concentrated. And we will keep on advancing towards our goal, our destination, our ultimate destination. You see, the mind is like a young plant which keeps on getting stronger and stronger. As the plant grows stronger, you need to care for it less and less. But in the beginning, we definitely have to, we must be very careful. When you start doing any work in the world, it takes time to reach perfection. No one becomes an instant expert in anything. When you first learn to ride a bike, you fall so many times. You make a lot of effort and still you fall so many times. But with practice, it becomes easier and easier. And eventually, what happens? You become such an expert rider that you use only one hand on the handlebar and carry a bag in the other. There may be a bus in front of you and a car behind you. You are aware of the bus in front of you, and simultaneously, you're looking out for the bus in front of you, and simultaneously, you're aware of the car behind you. It wasn't always this easy. You're doing all this very easily and effortlessly. But in the beginning, when you were first learning to ride, you used to have both hands on the handles, on the handlebars, and both feet on the pedals. You had to have your full concentration on the bicycle. So, in other words, we must practice in order to attain perfection. Practice is needed. In other words, we must always make an effort. We have to make an effort. And yet we should not easily become disappointed that we always have to make such an effort. You see, effort is needed because we have practiced wrong things so much that we have developed bad habits. So effort is needed in order to break these habits. Otherwise, the saints in the scriptures, Shri Krishna himself says, there's no effort involved in God realization. Effort is needed only to rectify our wrong thinking, our wrong way of thinking. Because otherwise, why would Lord Krishna say in the Gita? He says in the Gita, Chipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantim nigacchati. 9:31. He says, the moment you make a complete surrender to me, the moment you surrender to me, you will attain your eternal goal of supreme happiness. I will take you across the ocean of Maya, that very instant, spontaneously, and fill you with happiness, fill you with supreme divine bliss. Otherwise, he would have said, no, first you have to make an effort, you have to practice for so many years, do this, do that. No, he says, if you surrender to me now, this very moment, I will bless you with my unlimited grace. Chipram bhavati dharmatma. So the effort is needed only to rectify our wrong thinking. So now I've told you about karma sanyas and how to practice it. You must take out as much time as you can every day, 1 hour, 2 hours, And during that time, meditate on Shri Krishna in private while chanting his names, forms, qualities, pastimes, and so on. We must make our senses crave for Shri Krishna. Shed tears for him while chanting. Realize that he alone is yours. Then in this way you will start loving him more and more, and you will shed more and more tears. So the practice of karma sanyas sadhana, the practice of devotion in this way will keep on getting easier and easier. What else is there to do? Along with being a karma sannyasi, we must also practice karma yoga sadhana. Remember I told you that there were two types of sadhana, karma sannyas and karma yoga. What does karma yoga mean? Karma yoga is the opposite of karma sannyas. Karma sannyas means renouncing all worldly duties while having the mind concentrated on God, and karma yoga means performing all worldly duties while having the mind concentrated on God. So how does one practice karma yoga? In karma yoga, the only thing we need to remember, there's only one thing for us to remember. First of all, we don't have to sit anywhere, nor do we have to shed tears for God. We also don't have to chant in a loud voice. The only thing to do in karma yoga is to always realize that Shri Krishna, to be with you at all times. Never think yourself to be alone. We commit all sins because at times we think that we are all alone, that no one is watching us. When we start thinking in this way, we internally start criticizing or condemning others. So in order to avoid this, we must remember that we are never alone. The scriptures say that the word private will have to be thrown out of our vocabulary. Especially in the Western world, we all cherish our privacy. So why? Because the scriptures, the Vedas say, Dva suparana sauja sakhaya samanam vriksham parikhasva jate tayoranya pippalam swadvatyanash nannanyo abhichakashiti. Mundukopanishad 1:1. According to the Vedas, God is always with us. He is always looking on. There's no thought or action that is hidden from him. Therefore, we must always think Shri Krishna to be with us. And this is not mere imagination. It is a fact. We just have not accepted this fact. But with the practice of devotion, we must accept this fact. Now the most important question arises, and that is, you may ask, but if I think or realize God to be with me all the time, at all times, then how will I be able to perform my duties in the world? So let me explain to you what has been recommended, what is the process of reaching the stage of karma yoga. What exactly we have to do in this manner. Whatever work you do all during the day, wherever you go, take Shri Krishna with you. Wherever you go, have Shri Krishna stand there at your workplace, for instance. Before starting your work, think once that he's standing there close to you. He's looking at you doing your work. After this, start your work. Then, don't think about Shri Krishna. After an hour or so, just look up at Shri Krishna once again. He's standing right there, smiling at you. Just glance up at him for a moment. Then start your work once again. This does not take much of our time, only a moment out of your 1 hour. So after doing your work for another hour or so, glance up at Shri Krishna once again, only for a moment. This is the way we must practice Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga sadhana. Eventually you will start thinking of Shri Krishna every hour. When this starts happening, then practice thinking of him every half an hour. Then practice thinking of him every 15 minutes, then every 10 minutes, then every 5 minutes. Eventually, you will feel that he is with you all the time. Then you will no longer need to practice. Then you will start feeling that you will feel him, you will feel that he is always with you. This is the stage of Karma Yoga. We hear that God-realized souls, when they come to this world, do all sorts of worldly works while thinking of God at all times. How can this happen? How is this possible? At present, we cannot imagine, we cannot comprehend how a divine person or how any person can do both things at once. But if we start practicing Karma Yoga, then we will also be able to do the same. But first, we must practice. Also, another point, keep in mind that no one should know what you are doing. Devotion should be kept hidden from the eyes of the world. No one should find out how much love you have for God inside of you. It is said, as much as possible, hide your love for God to such an extent. Gopaniyam, gopaniyam, gopaniyam prayatnatah. If you are glancing somewhere for a moment, who's going to find out? No one should find out what you are doing. Otherwise, what will happen? Two things may happen. The world will start praising you and calling you a great devotee. As a result, you will start feeling proud of yourself eventually, and pride, as you know, is the greatest enemy of God. God will not stay in a heart filled with pride. Or the opposite may happen. The worldly people may start mocking you, may start making fun of you. Oh, look at him. Those who are not spiritually inclined. So the point is, stay away from having your devotion become entertainment for others. Try to hide your love for God to such an extent. And yet, always think him to be with you. Think of God to be with you at all times. So when we start practicing devotion in this manner, while experiencing him to be with us at all times, while thinking of him in a selfless manner, when we make our sense organs desire him intensely, while chanting his names, forms, qualities, pastimes, abodes, and the glories of his associates, and so on, our mind will actually start becoming attached to him. Then tears will come. Selfless tears will purify the heart. The more tears you shed, the more love you will attain for Shri Krishna. And in this way, one day the heart will become completely purified. then we will not be able to live without him. Each and every moment will seem like an endless age to us. In other words, we will become completely surrendered. And at that very moment, our Guru will come and will bless us with his unlimited divine grace. He will take us straight to Shri Krishna. He will appear before us regardless of where he may be in his divine realm or in his divine form. And attaining his grace, we will attain unlimited divine bliss, love, and knowledge. And once you attain this divine bliss, the Vedas say you attain it for all eternity. Sada pashyanti surayah tad vishnoh paramam padam. Maya then can never take hold of us, in other words. So our ultimate aim or ultimate dream of attaining supreme happiness, divine bliss, will be attained only through the practice of devotion and the grace of our Guru. Nothing is possible without his grace. Labhyate cha tat kripayaiva. And Lord Krishna also tells Arjuna in the Gita, Mat prasadadavapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. 1856, he says, Arjun, you will cross all difficulties by my grace. I am he through whose grace you will attain your ultimate goal, your ultimate dream. So with this verse, I will conclude this 2-day series on the philosophy of devotion. And let us sing a few lines. I didn't get a chance to sing from the Sankirtan, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare. And we will sing the second page. So the other side of the first page, they're not numbered. And so all the verses here are relevant to what was just discussed and described to you. Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare, Sadhana Karu Pyare,
Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare, Sadhana Karu Pyare,
Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare, Sadhana Karu Pyare,
Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana
परम व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस के प्यारे। परम व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस की प्यारे। हरिदरस की प्यारे।
व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस की प्यारे। परम व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस की प्यारे। हरिदरस की प्यारे।
परम व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस की प्यारे। परम व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस की प्यारे। हरिदरस की प्यारे।
परम व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस की प्यारे। परम व्याकुलता बढ़ाओ, हरिदरस की प्यारे। हरिदरस की
प्यारे। रोके उनते प्रेम मांगो, रोके उनते प्रेम मांगो। दर्श मांगो प्यारे, रोके उनके प्रेम मांगो। दरस मांगो प्यारे, दरस मांगो प्यारे।
रोके उनते प्रेम मांगो, दरस मांगो प्यारे। रोके उनते प्रेम मांगो, दरस मांगो प्यारे। दरस मांगो प्यारे।
ओ साधना करू, साधना करू, साधना करू प्यारे। साधना करू, साधना करू, साधना करू प्यारे। साधना करू प्यारे।
साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे। साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे। साधना करूं
साधना करू, साधना करू, साधना करू प्यारे। साधना करू, साधना करू, साधना करू प्यारे। साधना करू प्यारे।
साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे। साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे।
भूली हूँ तुम प्यारे, मांगू जनून भुक्ति मुक्ति न, भूली हूँ तुम प्यारे, भूली हूँ तुम प्यारे।
मांगू जनून भुक्ति मुक्ति न, भूले हूँ तुम प्यारे, मांगू जनून भुक्ति मुक्ति न, भूले हूँ तुम प्यारे, भूले हूँ तुम प्यारे।
ओ भूली हूँ धुर भावना कहूँ, भूली हूँ दुर भावना कहूँ, हो न सपने हूँ प्यारे, भूली हूँ दुर भावना कहूँ, हो न सपने हूँ प्यारे, हो न सपने हूँ प्यारे।
भूली हूँ दूर भावना कहूँ, हो न सपने हूँ प्यारे, भूले हूँ दूर भावना कहूँ, हो न सपने हूँ प्यारे, हो न सपने हूँ प्यारे।
ओ साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं प्यारे।
साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं प्यारे।
ओ लखहु जनि पर दोष कब हूँ, लखहु जनि पर दोष कब हूँ, दोष निज लखु प्यारे, लखहु जनि पर दोष कब हूँ, दोष निज लखी प्यारे, दोष निज लखी प्यारे।
लखहु जनि पर दोष कब हूँ, दोष निज लखु प्यारे, लखहु जनि पर दोष कब हूँ, दोष निज लखु प्यारे, दोष निज लखु प्यारे।
ओ साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं प्यारे।
साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं, साधना करूं, साधना करूं प्यारे, साधना करूं प्यारे।
ओ राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 प्यारी 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 राधे 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 प्यारी राधे 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 प्यारी राधे प्यारी राधे प्यारी राधे राधे प्यारी राधे हो मेरी राधे 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 प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे ओ मेरी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे राधे प्यारी प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे मेरी राधे प्यारी राधे। बोलिए अलबेली सरकार की, निकुंज बिहारनी अलबेली सरकार की, वृंदावन बिहारी